programming, this will interfere or distort the DNA's ability to determine individual hereditary characteristics or be manipulated to create freaks of nature. Now, it has been told that our planet is being terraformed by different types of species who live in these kinds of environments. Now, these kind of environments never existed when we were around. We have adapted. We die sooner than the 1,000 to 2,000 years that we lived. Why is that? Because the atmosphere has been terraformed in order to keep someone else comfortable, in order to feed someone else, in order to sustain someone else. There once was a hydrogen halo surrounding our Earth that fed the higher frequencies of universal mind directly to our DNA pattern. It was a triangular harmonic that connected the sun's hydrogen harmonic and the Earth's hydrogen harmonic to that of the body's hydrogen harmonic. Today, the fallen elders, or as they're called, I call them the elders, the dark elders, and I don't mean the dark elders like us. I'm talking about those who live in the shadows of your awareness, inhabit a great portion of humanity's evolutionary envelope. These entities have walked into you. They have taken you all over. There's some of them, you walk down the street, you can see them right away. They don't look like they're from here. They're walking around with a blank stare. They really look like they are not from this planet. You could pick them up. You know what the clones look like. We told you what they would look like and what they're about. They have this glare. They have this blank stare. They deteriorate very quickly. But you remember that these entities inhabit a great portion of humanity's evolutionary envelope. Better yet, they occupy by intrusion based upon your ignorance of yourself. That's why people who have thoughts that are not their own, sometimes you wake up and you say, damn, why did I think of that? Sometimes you wake up and you start saying, oh, wow, what would we look like if my baby was strangled? Oh, and you say, oh. I know. Have you ever had one of them thoughts that came to you and wondered what you should... Where did I get that thought of murdering and killing and somebody dead and mangled, somebody close and loving me? That's them trying to get in. That ain't you. And it's good that you could recognize it and not get caught up in it, because there are some weak enough to get caught up in it. And they follow it, and then they become part of it. That's why these entities took over Hollywood, because they don't have a way to physicalize themselves. So they live as a component of your dreams. You get pictures of alien. And in that, they live because you give life through your thoughts. All of the elements that go into creating a chemical memory gives you pictures, gives you sounds, gives you words, give you experiences, and they live inside of that which you have provided them by the chemistry that is you. So they actually create, you try to find out, where do they get these kind of monsters? Who is the one who's designing these? They are working through those entities that they know are part of Hollywood. And they're there to make sure that they have places to live, because when you go look at the movie and you see this and you're getting terrified, they live best with children, because children have a greater impact. They have a greater impact on the memory chemistry of children. That's why you got to be very careful about what you show your children at a very early age. Because they're like cameras that just snap and keep pictures. You know what it was like when you were scared and you saw a monster and you kept that bad boy with you for how long? They live in that. And I say, oh, get out of here, Reverend Brown. Yeah. Well, yeah, tell me, when you're running from something, you don't know what it is. Like a crop of vegetables, and you can see Matrix with this one, humanity today is cultured like a clam to produce a pearl of energy that is of great value to the fallen elders. Every time you are educated, they have put a sand or stuck a grain of sand somewhere inside of your consciousness. And then it irritates you. And then all of a sudden you make a life for yourself based upon the pearl that your body creates to defend yourself from that sand called education. And you've created a pearl based on your irritation, the fact you got to pay your taxes, your damn rent is due. You get in a fight with your husband, he leaves you, now welfare gets paid, and now it's all one dynamic. And they keep putting that sand in, keep putting that sand in. Every time you wake up, the sand begins with that inject vaccination. From the vaccination, they give you the bottle, and from the bottle, they put you into these nurseries. From the nursery, they put you in there, terraforming you. Like a crop of vegetables, humanity today is cultured like the clam or like the oyster to produce a pearl of energy that is of great value to the fallen elders. Light is the pearl. Today, a vast segment of humanity is waking up out of the sleep. Here's where the problem lies. A vast amount of us are waking up. We don't want to go along with the bullshit anymore. We don't want to listen to all the crap that they're talking about. It don't even seem real anymore. We laugh at it. We talk at the television. I know I do. I hope you all do. I hope you all get up and when you're looking at the news and you hear some bullshit that you start saying back, get the fuck out of here. And you look for something and you throw it at the screen. That's healthy. You start yelling and screaming and getting mad. They can't get in there. That's healthy. It's unhealthy when you're sitting there. Look at that. That's the sign of insanity. If you could look at the news and just be quiet and just imbibe that kind of crap. If you could look at television, if you could look at the television, I mean the movies, when I go to movies, I start talking all kind of shit. What the, you look at that shit. You see that? And everybody's right there. What's he talking about? Shut up, you know. I want to see him shoot him up, you know. The fact that you all are awakening is perilous to the fallen elders. In that you are now weeds growing in their gardens. And a weed grows, boy. Weed is strong as a motherfucker. You cannot, it don't be cultivated. Weed, you can't, shit. You try to cultivate all these things that you do in the vegetable. It looks so nice, it looks so pretty. Weeds say, damn that, I'm growing right here. And you gotta, oh man, and you gotta kill it, the shit grows back. Quick! Well, you are the weed in their little garden of ignorance. Now, catch up with me. A cosmo-psycho-biospiritual order. You say that again. A cosmo-psycho-biospiritual order that was established eons ago is dismantling because the old restraints of brutality and fear no longer work on you, as in the case of early Christianity. A newer, more insidious method of control must now be instituted. An internal control dynamic, an internal brutality and fear dynamic that can be controlled by the push of a button. Now, the button can be a word. The button can be the change in a temperature around you. The button can be something that you see flash before you. The button can also be pushed on a console. Those who do the work for the fallen lords constitute the conscious and the willing, A, and the unconscious and obedient, B. Let me say that again. Those who work for the fallen lords constitute two kinds. The conscious and the willing, A, and the unconscious and the obedient, B. Those we focus on today inhabit and operate through the priesthood. Listen up. Those we focus on here today inhabit and operate through the priesthood of the temple of medical science, the new Gnostics. The geneticist is the new Gnostic. The Elohim of the Bible were geneticists. Genesis, Genesis, Genesis 1, that's chapter 1, verse 26 says, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. We don't know what the fuck they look like. Do they? Do you know what the Elohim look like? No. You don't. Now, here's something deep. Why is the gene so important to the Elohim of today, the new Gnostics? Well, let's look at